Well, first things first, I've never done a commentary like this before, so, at least not that I can remember, so please just bear with me if you can. Anyways, today I'm going to be talking about some pretty deep topics, so if you don't think you can handle it, or, anything like that, I completely understand. Just please click off the video. I'm not looking to scare anyone or worry anyone or anything like that. I'm not looking to have this be a negative video. I'm trying to have this be more of a positive thing. Anyways, let's get started. Last night I did an Omegle session and I met with a lot of you. And let me just say, each and every one of you are beautiful, wonderful human beings, and it was nice to talk and meet with some of you. But it was interesting though. I get a lot of tweets and comments on videos saying like, Tibbsy, you've really helped me. I was having a tough time. I was going through things, and I appreciate what you're doing. You saved me. Those three words, you saved me. It's almost like, I'm in denial of that. I can't believe that me, personally, just a YouTuber who, plays games and just uploads them to YouTube is considered almost like a savior. I didn't believe that. But, last night, I had a lot of you guys personally tell me that I saved you, and it's humbling knowing that I have that effect on others. But, there was one person in particular, her name was Jessica, who opened up to me about herself. She told me that she lost both of her parents and how it's been a struggle, to say the least, since then. And she also referred to my Ask FM, which if you guys don't know what Ask FM is, it's a place where people ask questions, to a specific person, and they answer it. And on my Ask FM, I've been trying to help others with their problems and situations. And on there, when people come to asking me for advice about anxiety or depression, I try to, encourage them to go see a doctor. And she took my advice, and that's what she did. She went to go see a doctor, and now she's receiving professional help. And after talking to Jessica and opening up to her about myself and her opening up to me, it really inspired me to share my story, my end of things. And so here we are. Here we go. Currently, I struggle with depression and anxiety, which I understand. It's weird. A YouTuber has issues. Like, they don't have the perfect life. They have emotions and feelings, and they're people too. Trust me, that might have sounded ignorant, but those are the things that I thought when I was viewing videos. I wasn't a YouTuber. Anyway, I really don't know where to begin. So I guess we'll talk about my first anxiety attack. My first anxiety attack happened after an argument I had with a significant other at the time over text message while I was at school, while I was at college. And I was so stressed driving home. And I remember pulling my car into the garage, and it's like I hit a brick wall. It was surreal, to say the least. My thoughts were racing. My heart was racing. My body went cold and numb. And I just sat there in the driver's seat in disbelief of what was going on. I mean, I didn't know what to do. It only lasted 5 to 10 minutes, but it was honestly the scariest moment of my life. One of the scariest moments. And, just from having it that one time, I started having attacks anywhere from 3 times a week to every day. And now, my depression. I really don't know where it began, where it flared up, but it came out of nowhere and it caught me off guard. I noticed myself wanting to sleep all the time. I was sleeping a lot. I was in a bad mood all the time. I was pushing away friends. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to go out. And, for the people who don't know what depression is, it's awful. I wouldn't even wish it on my worst enemy. But to describe the feeling of being depressed, it's like being held underwater, and every single time you cry out for help, you get pushed deeper and deeper down. It's a horrible feeling. It's a feeling of like being numb and hopeless. You feel useless. And it's so damn hard to overcome. Some of you may not know, but I took a break from YouTube a few months ago. The reasoning behind it was because I was depressed. I couldn't find the motivation within myself to record videos. You know, I was struggling with college and other real life issues that were beating me down. And, you know, after about a month later, after college was over, and I started feeling a little bit better, I came back. And this is where I should say, where I thought I was feeling better. This is actually where I hit rock bottom. You know, it was summer now. I was working out in the city of Chicago every single day. And every single day was a struggle. I hated working. I hated waking up. I hated having to interact with people. I just wanted to be alone. While I was working and everything like that, I mean, the thoughts that flooded my mind are things I wish I could forget. The thoughts you get when you're depressed or when you have depression are awful. It's not something it's not even something I want to share, these thoughts. It's to me it's embarrassing, but you shouldn't be embarrassed about it. It's not you're not yourself when you're depressed or when you have depression. When I got home, it wasn't any better. The thoughts just got worse, and the pain and hurt inside me just continued to flood throughout my body. I'll be honest, I did a lot of things I regret during this time period. Things I'd steer others away from, but I needed to do anything to numb this pain inside of me. It was too overwhelming. Needless to say, I wasn't myself. Every day was gloomy no matter how bright the sun shined, and every day I just wanted to give up. People noticed I wasn't myself. People noticed I was becoming depressed just by talking to me just for even a little bit. I remember being on Twitter and people noticing that, you know, is everything all right? And I even noticed, you know, I know my mom, you know, she works with me every single day, and she noticed, and we were argued and we fought all the time, constantly throughout this time period. That's all we did was fight. A lot of my friends tried to lend a helping hand during this time. One in particular was Bayani. And there wasn't a day where he didn't want to talk and he didn't want to hang out with me. And, you know, he didn't want me to be alone. You know, he didn't even let me be alone. And, you know, that's all I could ask for. No matter how much I said, no, I'm okay, I'll just let me be alone. He didn't let me. And he kept me from doing anything I would regret. You know, he'd stay up all night with me, you know, just talking, listening to music and hanging out. And, you know, another person who I consider my best friend was Anthony. If you guys don't know who he is, he's someone I've been recording my survival games with a lot recently. He's one of my best friends. And I remember being at, you know, my rock bottom and him staying up with me all night to make sure I was all right. And I remember calling him the next morning and leaving a voicemail on his phone, just crying and telling him how awful I felt. And, you know, even now, you know, or even back then and now, he talks to me, you know, he tries to help me and encourage me, you know, things do get better. And, he gave me hope. Both of them did. They both gave me hope. And like I said, it wasn't just them two that tried to help out, but those were the only two that I actually let in. And, you know, I'm embarrassed by that because there was a lot of people that tried to help, but I pushed them away. I wouldn't let them get close to me. And, you know, it's because I didn't want to burden them. And, you know, and that's how you feel. You just don't want to burden them. But I want you guys to realize it's not, if people come and they want to help you, let them. Talking to someone about, you know, your issues and everything like that is the best thing you can do. And it will help you. But anyway, to get on with my story, it wasn't until one day, it was on a weekend, we were having a get together at my aunt and uncle's house. And I remember driving there and just feeling suicidal. And I know that's a tough or a hard concept, you know, to wrap your mind around if you never felt this way. But I remember just looking at the oncoming traffic while I was driving and wondering what would happen if I just drove straight into it. I got to my cousin's house. I didn't say hello to anyone. I just went inside, went in their basement, and sat down in there in the cold darkness. And I say cold darkness because it's a basement and I didn't turn any lights on. It's not like I was trying to, be some Edgar Allan Poe kind of guy. I wasn't, anyway, whatever. Anyway, I heard someone walk down the stairs and he sat across from me, and it was my dad. And he sat down and looked at me. Immediately, he could tell I was on the brink of doing something I'd regret. And just with 2 words coming from his mouth, he changed my life. What's wrong? That's all he had to ask was, what's wrong? And this is where I broke down and I cried for hours. I just told him about how I was feeling, told him about my anxiety. And this was the first time in 19 years that my father and I opened up to each other. And it was also the first time I've ever even seen my father cry. And that's all we did. We just hugged and cried. And it was beautiful, honestly. Because if he never came downstairs that day, I would have never agreed to getting help and make an appointment for that doctor. And I don't know if I would even be here today. And this is why I always suggest to people, see a doctor, talk to your parents, talk to a guardian, talk to someone, okay? Don't get me wrong, I still have my days, I still have my weeks where I struggle, but I'll be honest, I feel better after seeing a doctor. After I got help, I feel better. And the reason I'm telling you all of this is because I want you guys to realize, all of you that are struggling alongside of me, I want you to realize that you're not alone. You're all beautiful and wonderful people, and I want you to get the help that you deserve. It's life-changing, guys. Anyways, after receiving the results from my doctor, I found out that I had an issue with anxiety, which I sort of knew, but, I wasn't 100% sure. And I also had a vitamin deficiency, and that is why I was depressed. Currently, I'm on a daily supplement for my anxiety, and I also have another pill that I take if my anxiety is really bad. And I also have a pill that I take every Sunday. It's a vitamin D pill, and that's once a week. And I also I'm getting a vitamin B shot, specifically B12. I'm getting a shot once a week, and those are all for making my mood better. And I guess that's what happens when you have a vitamin deficiency of those 3 vitamins. It can really make you depressed. It could ruin your mood. It can make you very, very sad. And now, like I said, I would be lying if I said I was cured. I still have my bad days. I still have my bad weeks, but I feel better. My anxiety attacks, if I have them, they aren't very often anymore. They're not nearly as severe as they were. And yeah, that's my story. I really didn't know how to go about this commentary, but I hope it helped some of you, and maybe it even enlightened some of you. I want you guys to realize that the light at the end of the tunnel, it may seem dim, and it might even be getting dimmer, but I promise you, you will see the light soon. And I promise things do get better.